I'm not even sure how to start off this video because I feel like it's a really difficult concept for a lot of people to think about. It could bring a lot of feelings. Um, there's so much going on at the moment in the world. And there's just something that doesn't leave my mind. It's always been there, growing up, and then it kind of transforms into something else once you get older. Kind of nasally at the moment, so I kind of hear like sniffles. Um, the world is always going to be in a simultaneous state of joy and misery. Happiness and pain, cruelty and luck, good luck, right? But as the years goes on, more and more people get depressed, and people will say, oh, maybe you need more vitamin D. You need to get over that relationship. You need to get over your low self-esteem. You need to go see a therapist, a psychiatrist. You need medication. Maybe you need an SSRI. Heck, maybe you even need like a special therapy like EMDR, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. But that's not really the case for a lot of us who, I don't know if I can say this word on here, but I'm going to say it either way, or I'll spell it out. SUICIDAL, because that's just the truth. Most of us who are severely depressed, we are that word. Maybe some of us have attempted once, twice, I don't know how many times, but that feeling of not wanting to be here is a feeling I'm glad the majority of the world cannot relate to. The sad, unfortunate truth is a lot of people can go through years of therapy and medication and lifestyle changes, but that lingering thought is always going to be there. And then it kind of resurfaces when you have things sort of unexpectedly pop up in life. And I will say, I don't want to make this a pity party because it's not. It's more, I guess I'm just trying to share my own experiences to sort of hopefully get others to understand, maybe those who don't understand. I'm depressed for like a lot of reasons. Maybe there's you experience significant events in your life, traumatic, that kind of change you. Maybe just mentally, emotionally, but once you get older, a lot of us in that same boat, we get sick from all that stress and all that pent-up anger and frustration and the feeling of being misunderstood. And then you get older and you get diagnosed, like maybe you have ADHD, maybe you have autism, maybe you're bipolar, borderline personality disorder, maybe you have narcissistic personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, a plethora of labels they slap on you. I personally have PTSD. That's just one of the many things that I don't like. I feel like it's just more labels, but it kind of helps you understand yourself. I'm not the best with words. I kind of speak like mumbo jumbo. It's kind of just I don't know how to explain it. Just like a blurb, I guess. And people, I've met so many people in my life. I'm not religious. I'm agnostic. So I've met so many people that say, like, if you try to, yourself, you're going to end up in hell, like, you need a past like heaven, blah, blah, blah. And, I don't know how to tell them that, hey, I am depressed because I look at the world and I see all these amazing things. But at the same time, I see all the cruelty, all the ill will, all the injustices that fly by because of greed, capitalism, racism, classism, war. Those things make me depressed because unfortunately, you cannot educate all of the population on Earth, even if you wanted to. Even if you could, there are people on this planet who are not capable of being self-aware. And I only came to terms with that when I sort of read about these articles that some people are not capable of, I guess, talking to themselves in their head, or sort of, seeing pictures in their head. And then that kind of makes you question, like, what else are they not able to do? Because, I'm pretty sure I cannot, like, there's people that can solve complex math equations in their head. I can't do that. I need to do that on paper. But it sort of makes you realize there are barriers to self-awareness sometimes, But, back to the whole religious thing, I grew up so depressed because of that. I thought, everyone is done, themselves, and, if I were to do it, I'm going to go to hell. But then I wondered, why is it that serial killers, all these other people, they get a free pass just because they can repent at the end? And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. My depression is because I see the state of the world. And, people will say, like, hey, it's just teenage angst. I'm 25, and I still feel the same way I felt when I was, like, 13, 14. I still feel the same. If anything, it's, like, getting more stronger, seeing all these things make you question everything, right? And then you see people, like, the thing with the war, and, back to racism and just hating other people. They're like, you don't deserve to live because of XYZ. So that makes me feel a little skeptical of opening up around other people. It could even be over your looks. Somebody might find you ugly and just be like, oh, you deserve to, DIE. And then, it's a lot. I don't know how to explain it all, but I recently started becoming affected by health issues. Just all these things made me more depressed, and it kind of changed my quality of life, So, if anything, I did have those thoughts of ideation pop up. I came across certain people in similar situations who themselves, because of that. And it kind of raises the question of, if, I guess people would say it's selfish to, yourself, but, thought of self-euthanasia, I was very, very for it. But now with all these healthcare, pharmaceutical companies sort of being very greedy about these things, it kind of raises the question of how they would abuse it if that were to happen. Because we can advocate, because some people will only find relief not being here. And I'm so sorry I have to say that. And I know a lot of people won't agree, but I used to be so for it. But now it just kind of raises the question of how will society abuse it? Because it will be legalized, but it's going to be abused. And I just think about that more now than ever. Because the state of the world is going to change with all this tech and AI coming out. It's just, we're not ready. It's going to be such a massive shift in society. I don't really think there's a way to prepare for it. Maybe just open up your mind more, but it is kind of frightening, I will say. But also, maybe it'll sort of bring something new that's good, Yeah.